My name is John Armstrong. My wife, Glenda, and I are retired missionaries from South America, from Colombia and Venezuela. And a couple years ago, I received a phone call from one of the pastors of Venezuela asking if I could send some money down, that our camp was falling into disrepair and they didn't have funds for transportation or materials. They had manpower to get all the work done. They just didn't have the money to do that. And I was a little surprised and began to ask about what was going on there. And he shared what dire straits the country was in and how valueless their money was, that it just was basically worthless. And looking a little further that week into it, calling others and finding out, I was shocked to find that really the condition was much worse than I had imagined from watching the news. People were not only hungry, they were starving. There was lack of medical supplies. Electricity and water were sporadic. Medicine pharmacies were empty. Warehouses and stores were being raided that were trying to store food. People were so hungry that they raided those. And so I asked, well, how are the pastors doing? He said, well, John, many are just scraping by. And I asked if we were able to send funds down, could they establish a system to buy food to get to the pastors so that they wouldn't go hungry. And he said that they could do that. And so we started to send money down. The Missionary Society helped out, our class helped out, the church has contributed, but monthly we send money regularly so that they will have funds to buy food and to minister. And it has just gone fantastically. Over this time, the pastors have been able to provide a ministry. They haven't had to leave the country. They've provided food to not only the pastors now, but to people in the congregation and others with specific needs that are hungry. They've been able to get food to them. I asked Carlos, he called me about 3 weeks ago, and I asked him, I said, well, how's it going? Oh, great, John. He said, we've got this system working very well, meeting people's need, getting food to them, medicine. And I said, well, what about spiritually? Is the church growing spiritually, or is anybody getting saved? And he paused and he said, oh my goodness, John, he said, yes, this is probably going to be the greatest growth of the Church of the Nazarene in Venezuela ever. And he said, and it's basically due to the ministry that you have provided here. We've been able to provide food so our pastors can stay. We've all gotten together and decided we're not leaving. They can stay. Other churches have had to shut down because the pastors have not had support or had a lack of food. They've left, so the churches are closed. But the Church of the Nazarene is open and ministering, and people are grateful and have responded to that. And you have just been a blessing, and thank you so much. And he just sent me a note 3 days ago, not knowing I was going to be on the video, and he said, uh-oh, we've got a problem. And he said the problem is that they've opened up the churches now so that people can come back together. But so many people have come to the church, they don't hardly fit. We don't have enough chairs for them all. He goes, ha, 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 what a wonderful problem to have. And so this is one of the ministries we've been involved in, and God has really blessed it far beyond that I really had anticipated it would in the beginning. So this is just a little overview of what we're doing, and thank you so much for your concern and prayers and love and support.